Hey guys, Jacqueline here from Sign Jacqueline. In this week's video, I'll be showing you some really cool DIY farmhouse Valentine's Day decor ideas. So follow along.
So I've got a bit of junk here and I'm going to turn it into something really cool. So I'm decorating for Valentine's Day and I thought that I would put together a little video of easy things to make for Valentine's Day. So I've got some jars that I'll do something fun with. And then I've got some wool. Again, I've got some ideas of what I'm going to do with the wool. And then I've got a whole heap of material, like heaps. So some of it is from my patchwork days when I used to make patchwork and bags and appliques and fun, funky stuff. And some of it is recent from when I was making cushion covers last Christmas. So these are the colors from my cushion covers from last Christmas. So I'm going to do a couple of things with the material. I've got one project in mind for the wool and I've got a project in mind for the jars. So follow along and let's get started. First project I'm going to make is a wreath. I'm just going to make a rag wreath out of the old fabric and I'm going to tie it around each of these. But first what I got to do is to bulk the wreath up. I got two sizes of the metal hoops and then I just grabbed some 24 gauge wire and I'm going to attach it in places just to keep it together. So that's the first thing we got to do. So the bigger metal ring is 30 centimeters and the smaller one is 25. So I've just got some wire nippers and some needle nose pliers. Okay, so we've got the wreath form done. So all I've done is twisted around there about 5 times, looped it under, twisted around there about 5 times, and then looped it back and twisted it to finish it off. So next, what we're going to do is we're going to take some of this fabric, and as I said, it's all just old fabric that I've been holding on to, and I'm just going to start cutting it into strips. Usually you can get fabric to tear, so I'm just going to start a cut here and then rip. And then we're going to come back and cut them. I'm going to start at 15 centimeters. Because then that'll give me plenty to knot onto the wreath. Okay, so I finished going right around the outer ring and 3/4 away around in the 3/4 of the way around the middle ring. So It's starting to look really full and really raggy, which is the look we're going for. And then when we're finished with all of the insides, we can come back and give them all a bit of a trim. Okay, so the next project is using the wool, a bit of cardboard, and a piece of paper to make a template. So what we're going to do is draw a heart shape. And if you draw it on a piece of paper that's folded in half and cut it out, you get a more even heart. Okay. So now I'm just going to copy that heart shape onto my cardboard. And then what we're going to do is we're going to just start wrapping the wool around the heart shape. So you can tape it, or you can just wrap it a few times to get it to stay in place. Now this is quite random, and we're just going to wrap it until it's covered and we're happy with how it looks. So really cute, simple project, easy to do. So I'm just going to snip it off, and to finish it you can actually come back through one of the other strands, back on itself, and do like a granny knot, I suppose, and then you can either tuck that in or snip it off. And there you go. Cute, simple, easy. Okay, so the next project we're going to do is we're just going to do a really simple little heart-shaped cushion, and I'm actually just going to use my glue gun to glue it all together. You can use a sewing machine if you have one, but this is just, I'm trying to keep this really simple so anyone can do it. So I'm going to sketch out a heart shape, cut it out. I'm going to have my material wrong sides together, and then I'm just going to start gluing the top, leaving the bottom open so I can put the stuffing. I'm just using an IKEA inner. Obviously you can get these from IKEA. You can use any type of cushion, insert the filling out of it, and then so you stuff it and then you glue the bottom together. so the next project, I'm just using one of the IKEA girly cushion covers, and I'm going to again make a heart like we did before. I'm just going to glue it from about here down. I'm going to put some stuffing in it and then glue the top. Okay, next we're going to make another little cushion. So I've cut this to about 40 centimeters long by 22 centimeters high, 20 centimeters high by, about 40 centimeters. So I'm actually going to put an iron-on transfer on this that says love. So I'm going to do that first before I glue it and stuff it, only because it's just going to be easier. So I'm going to use my Cricut. I have a Cricut maker, and I'm going to send the design to my Cricut. I'll show you what my design looks like. Okay, so this is the design that I've come up with on the Cricut. And what we're going to do is we're going to click Make It. And it's going to put it into the map for us and the way that we want it printed. What we want to do is we want to mirror it because we want it to cut backwards because of the heat transfer vinyl. I then click Continue. And it's just connecting. I select that I'm going to be using Everyday Iron-On, and it's sending it to the Cricut. What it's saying here is make sure mirror is turned on and iron-on material is face shiny side down. So I'll get that all done, and then I'll check back here when we iron it onto the piece of material. So here you'll see the Cricut cutting out the design. And when it's finished, I'll weed it and show you how I'm going to iron it onto this piece of material. Okay, so it's all finished and it's cut. And so what you want to do is flip it so you've got a shiny side and then you've got the matte side. So what we're going to do is we're just going to pull up one of the edges of the matte side, and that's just removing the material that we don't want. So there's a sticky side and there's a flat side. So we're going to position it sticky side down. I like to find the center first. And then we'll find the center of this. Position it on. Okay, now I'm going to use my Cricut Easy Press, and I'm just going to bring it over. It's already set, and it's set for 20 seconds at 165 degrees Celsius. And you just press that down, and you want to put some pressure on it. So I'm going to just put pressure on it, and it'll beep when it's finished. So now we can just remove the transfer tape. Careful, because it is a bit hot. So when we're doing this one, we're going to put right sides together. Okay. Okay, so the next project I'm going to do is I'm going to paint the jars. I've already started by painting the white one. I've just given it one coat. It's still wet. I'm adding bicarb or bicarbonate of soda to the paint to thicken it up. And what that does is it gives it more of a ceramic type look. And a bit of texture. Okay, so I'm using fresh white in Canterbury Blue, Pixie Pink in Canterbury Blue, and Rosy Lou Pink. And I'm going to give it one coat, and then I'll come back and give it a second coat. Okay, so I finished painting all 3 jars, and I don't know if you can see the texture on it, but it kind of looks a bit like a rough ceramic. So I've finished painting them with the chalk paint and the bicarb soda, and I've waxed them to seal them. Now what I'm going to do to tidy up the top is I'm going to take some twine and I'm just going to wrap it around the top. So I'm just got my hot glue gun, and I'm just going to put a little bit on the rim there, and that'll just help secure it while I'm wrapping it around. And then I'm just going to secure this down onto the other rope. So in all of my decorating, I've decided that I need a little sign on my shelves above the sink in the kitchen. So I've decided to make a reverse canvas. I've already chopped it out, but basically what you do when you're making a reverse canvas is you cut around the sides to get the canvas off, and then you're left with this frame. Now I've already stained this frame. It comes in a very light unfinished wood color, and so I've already stained it. Okay, so I've got my canvas here, and what I do is I pop the frame on, staple it to the back. But before that, we've got to apply the HTV, or the heat transfer vinyl. So like I did with the love cushion, I'm going to do exactly the same. I'm going to center it in the middle of the canvas, staple it to the back, and there's a little sign done. So I'll grab my so there it is, ready to go on my canvas.
If you want to find any of the paint or products that I used today, please hit up the website www.signjacqueline.com.au.